What's going on? What's going on? This is going to be about NBA playoff game losers. And this one is about the Nuggets and the Pistons. Both these series I thought would go 7 games. One of them will be, the other is over. I thought, wow, two very evenly matched situations. But I'll get into the strangeness of the second situation. But the first game, Denver had a chance to kind of, both these games, it was the third quarter where there was a point differential. Um, the Clippers just pulled away, you know, and the Nuggets did not have the same firepower balance as they did in Game 5. Um, Joker scored more this game, but Michael Portis didn't, and Jamal Murray scored half of what he did in Game 5. So obviously, the 43-point outburst to a 21-point is the differential. Kawhi Leonard scored better. The Clippers had a balance of their main guys. James Harden was like a plus 17 scoring, so that was a biggie. And the thing about it is that I figured this would be a 7-game series. They're very evenly matched. You know, it's one of them series that it's a heavyweight fight, and if you take the pros and pluses of both sides, you know, it could go either way. So that's why we got a Game 7 here. This is not really a shock or surprise. You know, Denver is an inconsistent team, even though I think that they do have I think Jokic has a strong supporting cast. They just don't bring it every night. Westbrook had a pretty good game off the bench. They just don't play with consistency. That's their problem, and they don't play no defense. If they play with consistency and defense, this team would be at worst the second best team in the West, and Jokic would be competing for chips. But they just are a team that just doesn't play with consistency. And then you get the Clippers, who, if they're healthy and Tyronn Lue has a good game plan, they can be a problem. They just have to be able to make a couple stops and keep their health. So this is going to go Game 7. Winner take all next game. And I ain't got no problem with this one going 7. I think like they very, evenly matched. It's just the Nuggets couldn't, that third quarter, and the Clippers had enough just to offset. So, a couple plays here and there. This series, and we're going to see out of Kawhi Leonard and Jokic, who wants it more in Game 7. So that's going to be big. Now, as far as the Knicks and the Pistons, Jalen Brunson hit big shots, but the Pistons, how do you lose 3 games at the crib? How do you do that? Bigger stuff from them can say all about this and that, but they dropped 3 games at the crib, and they lost them all by a handful, i.e. turnovers, i.e. not having someone step up, just inexperience and just looking like a young team that's just fresh out. And this is one of those growing pains. Well, I think that they definitely know they got to make the right moves to get what they need to get to the next level. The Knicks got it by the chin of the chin, but Jalen Brunson comes up clutch. That's why he got a clutch award. That's why he is the kind of player he is. You could easily say the Pistons had him in all 6 games, but until you put that W up, it doesn't really mean a thing. It just means that the Knicks play against a better quality team, which would be the Celtics. That ain't gonna fly. So this is what you see right here. But impressive by the Knicks. The Pistons got nothing to hold their heads against as far as getting to the playoffs and having a good season. But what they got to worry is this: you can't lose 3 games at the crib, and you can't lose games that you had in your hand. Not only losing at the crib, but blowing. Just not being able to maintain leads, not able to sustain, and just not being able to convert. That's what it came down to. So they're on vacation now, and that should have been a 7-game series. I thought both these series should have been 7-game series and could have gone either way, in all honesty. So it is the end of the road for the Pistons, and we'll see what changes they make in the offseason, because Cade Cunningham is coming, but they got to have the right pieces. I kind of look at the Pistons like I look at the Rockets. You get the one thing that you need, y'all could be a problem. So this is how I'm looking at it. So we'll see how everything goes. But anyway, let me know your thoughts and your takes about these 2 series. One is going to go to Game 7. The other one is over. Please hit like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. Share it if you like. Hit the membership. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. I'm out one time. Peace.